Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jason. If you don't know me yet, I am from Jason Analytics. That's my marketing agency. And in this video, I want to go over some Google Tag Manager techniques, particularly how to track Calendly appointments. So in Google Tag Manager, there's actually multiple ways that you can do this, and I'm going to talk about my preferred method. So jumping over to a Calendly account, you may see something like this where you can share a specific type of meeting. You have the option to, have the Calendly domain. You can redirect, your website event, clicking on a button that says book appointment, it leads to the Calendly domain. I'm going to advise against this for a few reasons. You can still track it with a thank you page. You can redirect the Calendly calendar to a thank you page, and that could be all well and good. You may run into some cross domain issues, a little bit a little bit more of a setup there. I'm going to talk about how to embed it on your website and track it on your website directly from your website. So I'm not going to go into how to do that, how to actually embed it on the website. All you have to do is just put your code into a HTML block or something, and there it will be on your website. However, what I'm going to do is talk about how to track that. So I have a doc here I'll make available. Shout out to Julius from Analytics Mania. That's where I've learned a lot of stuff as I've been in my marketing analytics career. So with that being said, this is going to basically go over this document right here. This blog, you can look at it directly if you want. So first of all, we're going to create an event listener. So this is just going to be a custom HTML tag in Google Tag Manager. And what this is going to do is going to listen for any Calendly event throughout your website. And it's going to push information to the data layer. So with this being said, I'll explain everything else later. You're going to choose a custom HTML tag, and you're going to copy and paste that script, and you're going to set it to all pages. And we can name this something like custom HTML Calendly listener. Name it whatever you like, just as long as it makes sense and you know what it is. All right, so click save, and then we're going to follow along in this doc. And next thing you're going to do is create a trigger. And it's just going to be a custom event trigger, and it's going to be event name Calendly. And so basically what happens is you have, every Calendly event, whether you're booking the event or choosing the time or what have you, it's going to send all these events to the data layer, and the event is actually going to be called Calendly, and then there's going to be a type of event that you could pull as a parameter from the data layer. I'll explain next whenever I create the data layer event. So we'll call this something that makes sense again. Save it. I've already done this, so pretend I haven't done it already. It looks like I have right here. Yep, so event name, Calendly, all custom events. So we're almost there. So now we have to do the data layer variable. We're going to go to the variables and come down here to where you have the user defined variables. And I don't believe I have it set up already, so I'll be able to demonstrate it. You're going to choose the data layer variable, and then you're going to put into the variable name Calendly underscore event. Okay, so Calendly underscore event. We'll name it something similarly, DL for data layer, and then we'll do Calendly event. Okay, save that. And then finally, all you have to do now is create the tag. So in this case, I'm going to do a GA4 tag. You can do the same thing for, the Facebook pixel or a Google Ads conversion event or, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever you want. So with this, we're just going to choose Google Analytics. I've already set up my tag. Hopefully you know how to do that. I'll create videos showing you how later. You're going to choose the event. All right. And then I always have my GA4 measurement ID set as a variable. So it's going to be a constant variable. That way I don't have to keep copying and pasting it from GA4. All right, and then I'm going to call this, let's see what I have in my example. Okay, I don't have the tag actually in the example. I'll add that. So we're going to call this Calendly dash, and then we're going to pull in our data layer variable so that it's dynamic. So we're going to be sending GA4 all of the Calendly events, from the moment that they start, selecting a time or and all the other events all the way until when they actually book the appointment. All right, so triggered is going to be triggered by the custom Calendly custom event, and then we'll name this something like GA4 events. I like to use the same naming conventions from all of my GA4 or any other tags, and we'll just call this Calendly events. Save, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to show you now. We're going to put this in preview mode and show you exactly what this looks like. Okay. And then in Google Analytics 4, I'm going to have this in debug mode as well. So if you just go to admin, and you can go to underneath the data display. Sorry, my face is in the way. The debug view, and you'll see right here as you start navigating. All right, so this is my personal website that I just finished building, and then all the way down at the bottom, I have my Calendly calendar. Okay, so I'm just going to do some test events, choose the time, and let me just stop there and go to the debug window. So as you can see, the Calendly event, the first one, just actually there's been two. So we'll look into the tag and see what's being shown. So event type viewed. So basically when the calendar is actually viewed on the screen. And then I believe I chose the time. So date and time selected. And then that might be it as far as the rest of the events until you actually book. So I'm just going to test, confirm, everything else is filled out, good, schedule event. All right. And the reason I like to embed instead of directing this to a Calendly, domain and then redirecting back to my domain as a thank you page is because all this information is available when you embed it, so you want the confirmation to have, the meeting time, whatever they filled out and everything, and the ability to add it to your calendar. You don't get that with a thank you page, or at least maybe you can, but it's just going to take a whole lot of extra work. So with a thank you page, you can still track it. You can, it's an easy trigger to set up with that page view trigger. But with this, you're just able to, have all that good information, and it's still an easy setup to track. All right. So as you can see, jumping back over to the debug window, you have the latest Calendly. If I click into GA4 events scheduled, so everything looks good. So I'm tracking, whenever somebody sets an appointment with me, also tracking, if they don't quite set the appointment, but they've started it, I can see how many people kind of go through that funnel. All right. And so just another check with GA4, there's a delay here with the events popping up. So I'm going to refresh it real quick. All right, so maybe I need to, okay, here we go. So it looks like there's a huge delay here. So yeah, so not gonna stay there. With the debugger though, you can see that these are firing, it's succeeded. Just to look at the data layer, you can see the Calendly event, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much it. So I wanted to just go over that. I wish GA4 would kind of get their act together, with this debug view. It's been very bugalicious for a very long time now. I migrated all of my clients to GA4, early in 2023, and it was kind of a nightmare, to be honest with you. So I don't know if you've had a lot of experience with GA4. Not the biggest fan over here, but it is, part of the job. It does provide the data. What I like to normally do, and I'm going down the rabbit hole here, but I like to take GA4 data and just hook it up to a Looker Studio dashboard and just create custom views, custom dashboards to, for my clients, for myself, etc. Just because GA4 doesn't, always work that well. All right. And then finally, what you want to do, the following day, once you set this up and you have these events coming in, 24 hours later, you're going to have those Calendly events show up under the events section, and you're going to want to mark, at the very least, you're going to want to mark the event scheduled event as a conversion. All right, then you can import it to Google Ads if you want. So that being said, that's how you do it. I don't want this video to go too long. We're at about 10 minutes. Finally, you want to just submit and just add, Calendly tracking and then publish. That way, you don't have to be in debug mode for these events to fire. Everybody you'll start tracking anyone that comes on your website. All right, well, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Write in the comments if you like. I'm happy to hop on a call with anyone that wants this sort of thing done for them. That's what I do as a conversion tracking specialist. I also do, paid ads as well. So just a quick little tidbit about that. But all right, have a great day. Thanks.